I am just 1 week into my transformation journey to lose 70 pounds in 5 months, and I only have one goal. And it's not to get super fit, do an Ironman, or to enter a powerlifting competition. No. My goal is to look buff, jacked, super buff. And the only way that is going to happen with a fantastic weight training regime. That is what I'm going to share with you today. I am Jelly Belly Fat Fuck, and this is Transformation Thomas. Before 2017, my training had followed the same cycle. Lift as heavy as possible, eventually get injured, see a physio, get covered in pink physio tape, pull back on the amount I was lifting, and then slowly build it back up again until I got injured again. And that was my training cycle. It was painful and demoralizing, but I just didn't know any different. Sam changed all that when he taught me phased training. There are 4 phases to my training. Super heavy. This is the maximum I can lift for 8 to 10 reps. Super slow. These are 10-second reps. 5 seconds on the positive, 5 seconds on the negative. Before ready. Basically, this is a rest, pause, set. Go to failure with a minimum of 12 reps and hold for 5 seconds. Then go again. And I can usually get away with doing maybe a couple more reps. Tempo. Sets of 30 reps minimum until I cannot move. The tempo stays the same, so the reps just get shorter. Out of these 4 phases, you'd think the hardest would be super heavy. No. The hardest phase for me is doing super slow, doing 10 seconds reps. I find it really hard to focus and concentrate on the exercise and breathe all the way through the rep. But actually, tempo is the phase that tests my limited tolerance for pain. When I get to the end of 30 reps, I could scream and quite happily punch a baby in the face, which is illegal, so that's not a suggestion. When it comes to each phase and how much I lift, I work it out using the following percentages. Base level weight is super heavy. That is 100% of the weight I can lift doing any particular exercise. Super slow is 60% of the super heavy weight. Before ready is 80% of the super heavy weight. And tempo is 50% of the super heavy weight. So if I am doing dumbbell chest press and I can do 40 kilos for super heavy, I will do 24 kilos for super slow, 32 kilos for before ready, and 20 kilos for tempo. Across pretty much every exercise, these percentages work out. It's not rocket science, right? But it just takes a bit of thinking about. Which is why I have this board and put the weight I can lift next to each exercise. If I decide to change it up and move an exercise to a different phase, I know exactly what weight to use by fiddling around with the percentages. Rest. How much rest we should take between sets is a purely personal decision, and it varies enormously from one person to the next. Even Dorian Yates, the greatest and most successful British bodybuilder of all time, just said that it really depends on the individual. This is what I do, and I know it works for me. Super heavy phase, 3 minutes rest between sets. All other phases, 2 minutes rest between sets. Next, how many sets per exercise? But just before that, if you like my crazy ramblings on this channel, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment, as it looks good for YouTube. And then apparently, they show it to loads of other people. And my goal for this channel is to help as many people as I possibly can. I do the same for every phase. 2 warm-up sets with 50% of the super heavy weight, then 4 working sets. The big difference that Sam taught me about the working sets was to go for maximum weight on my first working set, not to pyramid up to the heaviest on my last set, which makes perfect sense if you think about it. The first working set is when I'm at my freshest and I'm already fully warmed up, so I go for it. There are 2 times when I don't follow this routine. One, if I'm doing a single limb body part exercise. Now, I don't even know if that's a term, but let me give you an example. Single leg calf raises on the Reebok step. The non-working calf is clearly getting a rest, lazy fucker. So when doing this exercise, I have a much shorter rest between sets across all phases. For example, when doing tempo for single leg calf raises, which is 30 reps or more, it takes so long that I basically don't stop, just going from one leg to the other. But it's a small muscle group, so it's fine. The second time I don't follow this is when I do GVT, German Volume Training, which you can see on the board. GVT is very different from normal training. It can be done in various different ways, but these are the basics. Choose a weight that is 60% of your 1 rep maximum. Do 10 reps, then stop. Take no longer than a minute rest. Do 10 sets like this, all with 10 reps per set and 60 seconds rest in between each set. Now on to the split of body parts. I'm not 27 with muscles made of rubber that bounce back good as new after I've had an injury. And I certainly don't have testosterone levels that enable me to put a pound of muscle on just by cuddling a kettlebell. No siree, I'm old and I am fucked, but I do love to train. Holy shit, I love to train. If I could, I would be in here 16 hours a day. But putting that ridiculous notion behind me for just 1 second, what I actually do is the old-fashioned split of pull, legs, push. Pull is back, traps and biceps. Traps are the trapezius muscle that make you look like you've a neck like a bull. It's a good look. Legs is quads, hamstrings and calves. Quads are at the front and give you that awesome shape when wearing super skinny jeans. Okay, I've never actually worn super skinny jeans and I'm not going to start now, but I think you know what I mean. Push is chest, shoulders and triceps for those all-important bulges and bumps and lumps when wearing a t-shirt. I do these 3 sessions, one after another, 3 days in a row. Then on the 4th day, I only do stretching and CV. This split allows me to train every day should I choose to do so. So to recap, I have 4 training phases, starting with super heavy, which is low reps and high weight, and finishing with tempo, which is high reps and low weight. I go through a 3-way body split, pull, legs, push. I match each exercise to the best phase. This is important because at my age and with some permanent injuries, I can't blindly pick up weights and just start throwing them around. Now, over the last 8 years since I started doing this, I've been asked the same question a million times when I tell them my routine. Don't you think you are overtraining? You know when someone wraps a statement in a question, like, you're not going out wearing that, are you? No, love, but thanks for the feedback. Well, the answer to that overtraining question is no, for 3 reasons. 1, through the 4 days, I'm only doing upper body twice and never 2 days in a row. 2, I only do 1 exercise per body part. That is only 12 working sets per workout and I'm done and dusted in an hour. 3, as I mentioned earlier, I do phased training. In the past, every time I went in the gym, I was looking to maximize the weight I could lift on every set and just blitz my body. Now, I only do that 25% of the time. There's one other thing too. I don't come in the gym every day. Shit gets in the way, like kids on being ill. Last week it was the grandkids. This Sunday I woke up with what felt like a cat in my throat. Not fit to train. And why today I sound like I smoke 66 a day. Right, we got there. I got through my program. I mean, it's not complicated, right? But it is very systematic. But there's one final point I've got to make. You need to know this. This is my program and unique to me. If you ask 100 regular gym monkeys how they train, you're going to get 100 completely different answers. I hope you've got some good ideas from watching this, obviously. But at the same time, take some, none, or all of the advice that people give to you. You are unique, so you have to figure out what works best for you. See you next time.